Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of SpongeBob Now. Today, I will be talking about Krab Borg, in Rock A by Bivalve. First, I'm going to talk about Krab Borg. Enjoy! One night, SpongeBob and Gary watch a scary movie called Night of the Robot, which involves robots taking over the world. Gary tells SpongeBob that he should not watch it, as scary movies freak him out, but SpongeBob denies this. However, he later shakes in fear in bed, wondering if everyone he knows is a robot. After asking Gary if he is a robot, SpongeBob decides he has nothing to worry about and tries to get some sleep, but he has a nightmare about the same robot from the movie chasing him. The next day at the Krusty Krab, SpongeBob has become very paranoid and believes that robots are everywhere, with every sound jump-scaring him. Meanwhile, Mr. Krabs is in his office, listening to Electric Zoo on his portable radio. Mr. Krabs likes the song and hums to it. SpongeBob later walks past Mr. Krabs' office and overhears him saying he feels completely recharged. He then witnesses Mr. Krabs talking to his radio, talking in a robot language over the phone, and doing a bizarre robot-like dance to the song. This convinces SpongeBob to believe that Mr. Krabs is a robot imposter, and he relays this information to Squidward. Squidward does not believe him, so SpongeBob tries several tests to prove that Mr. Krabs is a robot. First, he tests Mr. Krabs' sense of humor by having Squidward tell a joke, but Mr. Krabs does not laugh. SpongeBob says that this is because he is a robot, as robots do not laugh, but Squidward says that he's obviously heard it before. SpongeBob then tests Mr. Krabs' emotions by telling him that Squidward's father never hugged him to see if he will cry. Mr. Krabs says that although it is a little sad, Squidward can hug himself during his break. This further worries SpongeBob, but Squidward says that this is ridiculous and that his father loved him very much. This reminds SpongeBob of the third and final test, the love test. SpongeBob tells Mr. Krabs that Squidward loves him, but he simply tells him to get back to work. Back in his office, Mr. Krabs' radio breaks and he decides to give the batteries to Pearl for her Christmas present. A timer rings, and he grabs a pair of tongs and removes his hard-boiled egg from a pot of boiling water, ready to eat it. But just when Mr. Krabs is about to put some salt on the egg, he is startled when SpongeBob calls out his name a fourth time, and he accidentally tosses the full salt shaker into his eyes, causing him to scream in pain. Squidward then asks SpongeBob what the robots in the movie look like. SpongeBob says that they had red eyes, metal pinchers for hands, and ran on batteries. Squidward then asks if Mr. Krabs looks anything like that, and this is seemingly answered when Mr. Krabs barges out of his office screaming in pain with glowing bloodshot eyes, the tongs he used to hold the egg, and the radio batteries in his pocket. As Mr. Krabs runs to the bathroom, Squidward finally believes SpongeBob, and tells him to call the Navy, but due to their automated phone service, SpongeBob thinks that the robots have taken over the Navy. Squidward then announces over the microphone that robots are taking over the world, causing all the customers to flee the Krusty Krab. Mr. Krabs then emerges from the bathroom, relieved that his eyes are not hurting anymore, and goes back to his office, not noticing that the Krusty Krab is now empty. Squidward then wonders how they will find out what happened to the real Mr. Krabs, and SpongeBob says that the main character in the movie teamed up with a buddy and they got the poop on, or collected information from the robot. After reading a book on how to torture, the two go into Mr. Krabs' office and tie him up, demanding to know where the real Mr. Krabs is. After getting no answers and Mr. Krabs insisting that he is the real Mr. Krabs, SpongeBob and Squidward decide to interrogate his machines, which include a blender, a toaster, a food processor, and a coffee maker. These, of course, do not give any answers either, due to being inanimate objects, and so, Squidward destroys them with a baseball bat. This greatly upsets Mr. Krabs, as he paid good money for each of them except for the coffee maker, as he claims it was actually a gift, and he finally breaks down crying when SpongeBob brings in his most valuable robot, the cash register. He also mentions laughing with it and loving it, revealing that he is not a robot. Seeing that Mr. Krabs really is telling the truth, Squidward then asks SpongeBob how the movie ended. SpongeBob, while thinking the ending was great, remembers that the ending revealed the robot invasion was just in the character's imagination and that there were no robots after all. Realizing his mistake, SpongeBob declares that it is time to feed Gary and runs off, leaving Squidward to take the heat from Mr. Krabs for pointlessly destroying the machines. As a nervous Squidward grabs a broom and begins sweeping the mess, a furious Mr. Krabs growls and screams, "Squidward!" as the episode ends. Next, I'm going to talk about Rock A by Bivalve. Enjoy! One day, after chatting with each other, SpongeBob and Patrick hear a noise that they suspect is one another, but realize that it's coming from a baby scallop in the middle of a coral plant who is alone and helpless with no parental guardian and has yet to develop the ability to fly. SpongeBob and Patrick take him in the former's house, name him Junior, and raise him as their baby, with SpongeBob as the mother and Patrick as the father. After feeding Junior and changing his diaper, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Junior go out in Bikini Bottom through a montage. Returning home at night, they put Junior to sleep in a cradle in SpongeBob's bedroom, then go to sleep themselves. The next morning, Patrick eats breakfast, then explains that he has to go to work since he is the father, leaving SpongeBob to do housework. He promises to give SpongeBob a break when he gets home. Eventually, he returns home only to be exhausted from work, and then tiredly decides to sit on the chair and watch TV for the rest of the night. This goes on for several days until SpongeBob realizes that Patrick was a lazy father figure who broke his promises to assist him with Junior. Seeing his patience is completely terminated and fed up with Patrick's laziness, SpongeBob furiously lashes out at Patrick, showing him all the diapers that Junior used, including on Squidward's house from the outside. Patrick, feeling remorse, then realizes the error of his ways and promises to come home at 6 p.m. and give SpongeBob the whole night off. However, Patrick, back to his old, lazy self, returns at 12 a.m. from a party at work. SpongeBob, finally reaching his breaking point to Patrick, confronts him on his broken promises and laziness, especially his last one, as Patrick gets annoyed with his constant nagging. SpongeBob follows Patrick, who angrily said that he was going back to work, only to find out that work consists of Patrick watching television under his rock all day. The duo get into an argument about Patrick's bad parenting style until they see Junior about to jump from a 2-story window. They immediately try to catch him, but fail and begin crying for him, believing him to be dead and proclaiming themselves bad parents. However, they then realize that Junior is alive and has learned to fly. After Junior kisses SpongeBob and flies away, Patrick asks for a kiss from Junior, who drops a coconut on the former's head as payback for his laziness, but still gives him a kiss. After SpongeBob and Patrick say goodbye to Junior, they are proud to have looked after him. Patrick, learning his lesson, reconciles with SpongeBob by teasingly suggesting they would have another baby, shocking SpongeBob knowing that he will probably do the same thing when they were taking care of him. During the credits, Patrick reveals that he is just kidding, because he and SpongeBob aren't a couple, but best friends. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos. Goodbye everyone.